Hey, yo. Today is the day, the big day, the super huge day. Because it's the stoned level day. My favorite song, and his favorite song apparently from his interview, is Pain. And that's what we're recreating. My recreation sounds like this. Oh damn! That's crazy, man. Yeah, so I told you today's the day, you know? It's the Stone Level Day. That is the remake, and here's the original. And mine. It's basically there with the rhythm and the flow and the loudness. The lead isn't the exact tone because his is a lot higher pitch. But, you know, my preference is like that mid-range pitch, which is what I made here. And I kind of made like the midnight tea type of growl with his flow. And yeah, you can just basically make any patch you want that sounds higher pitched, and you can start, you know, making a sound that sounds higher like his came out. But first I'm going to show you exactly how I started here. First, kick and clap combo, easy, with the side chain. This is the secret laser that we're going to get to later, because it's the secret laser that sounds like this real quick, but I'll get to it later. First, we're going to go to the first thing that I made, which is the main lead here. I'll show you that patch. That patch is also going to be available in my new Patreon, that you can get all my presets. I'll put some racks in there from this pack. You can download all the racks and presets from my previous videos. Then you can just start making amazing sounds. I'm going to start putting projects on there. There's already projects you can download. Once again, Patreon, you can start at $3 a month. You can go up to $65 a month for a private lesson if you guys need private lessons. Anyways, getting back to this patch, we're going to go to Serum. I called it Dripment 3, which will be in the folder for you guys to download. Dripment 3 is an evolution. It's the add seconds from digital. Evolution is from digital also. We got this LFO one doing a lot. This LFO one's on the level. It's on this wavetable position. It's on this cutoff. This filter is doing a lot of movement here, as you can see. If you pull this up, you can start getting higher pitches like this. This LFO is a simple shark fin trigger. And then on the effects, we have hyperdimension, adding a little bit of mix. It's no size. No mix here. Tube distortion, drive at 26. This phaser, other things on the left. Rates here, mixes here. Compressor multiband, 15. Releases here, attacks here. And then we have this EQ, which is just pushing up in a frequency. Cool. We have the OTT. This is the mid-side OTT with time. So preset I made, parallel OTT. We got the dimension expander, just adding some extra width. Size is all the way down. Drip verb 1, adding the 24%, cutting the lows, a lot of the lows and these mids. And then add the JST clip, clip it off, pump it a little bit. This corpus turns on in a section, which is this section here, later on. And then what I did next is I added different layers. So the first layer is going to be the same patch, but a fifth up. So if you go into Serum and you look at this, we're adding a fifth, and we're adding 4 octaves. And then we're adding the wavetable position like I showed you previously. And this is on 1.5. That's adding the extra tone that you'll hear compared to, if we look at this, we're on F. The original's on E. So I'm also moving from E to F, which is right above it. Adding those different E's and F's. Remember, this sounds crazy because it's 4 octaves up and 7 semitones up. Everything else is the same. And then we go to this one, which is a full octave above. So we're adding different harmonics on top of the actual lead to make it sound thicker. See, 12 here. There's just 1 octave and there's 4 octaves, so 5 octaves up. That sounds like this. They all sound like this together. The trick in this is you don't want to stack your reverbs because you don't want to just keep stacking reverb. So you should only have reverb on first patch. The other patches, if you have reverb, this one's off. I'm going to delete that. This one is off. I'm going to delete that. If you have reverb, you need to be really careful with it. If you listen to this, I wanted to add more like a tonal layer. So I added this layer. I resampled it to audio. I resampled just this one to audio, the hitter. I went up 7 in Complex Pro, formants down, envelope down, went up a 5th. Added this reverb 20%, and then I added the serum effects on combs, which is adding this tonal sound. So when the drop starts, you hear the tonals, you hear these layers with the tonal. It sounds crazy, and then it leads you into the next phrase of the drop. It's Stone Level Day. I want you to hear the original hit, because see here, there's a space, there's a hit. So it's a kick, of course. And then I made this sub, which is, I call it a sub shot. It's like a distorted sub shot. I went to serum, just went easy sine wave, LFO. So this sub, just a sine wave, bright noise white, high notch 12, barely moving it, tube distortion. And then we add like a stomp sound with EQ. And then a ride. So that's like the first hit. It's like a distorted hit. Then these 2 hits. And then this riser. This is the like screamo vocal from the original. Of course, this hit starts off the section, and then let's get into the next section. So, same kicks right here. You can see the kicks are fully out now, going full speed. The laser, we'll get to it soon. Don't worry, that's the best part. But if you look at the lead section, the +7 I kept in here, but I didn't keep the original patch. I didn't keep the octave higher. Didn't keep the tonal layer. Oh, actually, no. You could see here the original I duplicated. I made a hit or 2, and in this layer I turned it. I used the macros to actually change the sync on oscillator B. So when you see here, the sync goes up in these sections, sync goes down, and it adds like different up, down, without changing the notes. So I did that there. We added the 7th, and then we added this like. But this is the same preset, but I changed it. I made this LFO just to add more rhythm in the drop. You can barely hear it. Barely hear it, but it's adding more rhythm, so it's not just a regular quarter note, but you can like barely feel it, but it's still there. It's amazing. It's called magic. Anyways, +3, -3, wavetables here, LFOs like this, looking like this, a little snake. All the effects are the same from the original patch. You can see I just used the same patch to like make most of these sounds. We added, I found a wub, and I just added it in that section. This wub has an amp on it, dual OTT, gain comped, an excellent sound, JST clip, and then the reverb. Now, the second best part is this sub. Listen to it in the mix. Super distorted. And I was really trying to match the distorted sub that, STONEDLEVEL's using. And I finally found it. So basically, I had the Dripment clean sub, of course, in the regular Dripment clean sub settings, but then I added an overdrive like this. Basically stock settings, but moved it over here. And it sounded like this. It's not good enough, not loud enough. So we added the pedal, bass up a little bit, sub on. You know it. Sick. Alright, so then it ends with this Reese bass. Originally, it's just my Dripment Neuro bass that you can download in my Patreon. It's in the pack 1 through 6. But this time I added the auto pan to make it sound. So usually it sounds like this, but then it makes it sound like this, like gargly. Made that cool effect. Of course, we used the pitch bend to move it up. That's a really simple patch. I've showed it in a previous video, but like I said, presets in my Patreon. Now, if you go into this next section, it's basically another fake out, like the intro. Not the intro, but this is the beginning of the drop. So another fake out. But you don't make it sound exactly the same. So in this, we moved it up to an F instead of an E. So it moved up a note. Then we added this washout on the full bass, mid basses group. And then we washed it out towards the end to bring it into the next phrase. And then this Fletcher-Munson curve is, toning down the frequency so it's not so loud, because it's really loud and ear piercing. This helps a lot. Pretty sure. Yeah, no, it's just on the group. Cool. And then after the fake out, so then it just goes back. And as you can see, this is 16 bars. The full drop of his is 32 bars. I'm not finished, but I wanted to show you guys this right away because this is amazing. But now, it's time to get to the laser. So without the laser... Okay. Alright, let's break this down. The laser beam. Whew. This laser beam rack is going to be in the Patreon for the second tier or whatever. You can get this amazing rack, but I'll show you how I made it. So we start with an operator. As you can see, it's just a regular triangle. I did nothing to it except add operator, changed it to triangle. Then we go to Redux, so it sounds like this. Then you add the Redux. And as you can see, you just find your perfect. Cool. And then I added a frequency shifter that is actually doing nothing because I added this frequency shifter instead, the kilohertz, and bumped it to 1.53. Just insanely beautiful. EQ8 to take out all these lows and some of these highs. Went crazy with it and added the OTT mid-side with time and made it super loud. Jesus. Sorry. Added a JST clip to clip it at 0. Because it's probably... Yeah, we'll clip it at 0. Do a nice little clip. It's actually below, so that's fine. Then, of course, because it's ear piercing, added the Fletcher-Munson curve. And we added this auto pan. For more effect. And then the Dripment stereo effects, give it mono and Start it out. Oh, and that's how you do it. That's how you reach stone level sound. That's how you become a dubstep master. Anyways, rest in peace, young Dolph. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Keep on making dubstep. And, join my Discord. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. Like, subscribe, comment.